Okay, everybody. Hello again. This is Christian. This is part 17 of my series, Thoughts on Living in Las Vegas. And I'm here at a CiCi's Pizza because technically this would be the cheapest buffet at this point in all of Las Vegas, the CiCi's Pizza chain. Some of them are open until 10. Well, I think all of them are open until 10. What I mean to say is many of them have this buffet until 9 or 10 at night. It means that they run it all day like a Chinese restaurant typically. So look at this. You can call any of these CiCi's Pizzas here in Las Vegas and find out which ones run the buffet all day long, but I guarantee you at least one or two do. I've been to this one a lot. $5.99. Now here's the catch. It's $5.99 plus tax, so it equals about $6.48. It does not include a drink. You will just have to say, I just want water with my meal, and they'll give you a cup, and then you know what to do from that point on. Alright, and the selection is quite limited. They won't have, like, they say we've got 15 different pizzas for one low price. They don't have much of a selection. I mean, you won't find like a taco pizza, you know, a supreme pizza. You'll find like jalapeno with pepperoni, cheese pizzas, pineapple, you know, Hawaiian pizza. Anything you want, though, you can just ask them and they'll make you a personal pan for you, and it's included in the price, but they won't tell you. But here it is. That's the buffet line. So the good part about it is that you've got a basic salad line. It has tomatoes, lettuce, onions, bell peppers, just very, very basic. And then the salad dressing, just avoid most of the salad dressing. Just use Italian. That has the least, you know, chemicals and saturated fat. They don't have oil and vinegar. And off to the side there, you see right there, off to the side, the drink station, and you can find black pepper and crushed red pepper. But they've got soups. They got two soups usually. It's just watery soup. It's really basic. So it's $6.48 with tax, I believe. But this is the cheapest. As a matter of fact, this is like almost Las Vegas is almost like the land that time forgot, because during lunch around noon, it's really crowded. Same thing with dinner. Dinner here tends to be early for locals, about 6 or 6:30 at night. Okay, now it used to be where they'd have these dive casinos like Imperial Palace years ago, and you can Wikipedia Imperial Palace. They used to have like a $4.95 buffet, and it's the same thing with the Sahara Casino when it did exist. But the cheapest casino buffets at this point would be the Palace, not Palace Station, but the Station casinos, and the cheapest two are Fiesta in Henderson. Fiesta, or what is it called? Rancher Fiesta? I get it confused. It looks really colorful. Just look it up, guys. And then, of course, Sunset Station in Henderson. That's all part of the Station Casinos chain. But you can't go wrong with the Station Casinos. Unfortunately, they don't have the lowest limits. They have one of the lowest limits, lowest minimums. They usually have $5 tables, but it used to be much lower. This back in the days when El Cortez downtown had 10-cent roulette and $1.50 craps. But those buffets run under $10 any time before dinner, I think. It's a guesstimate. With your boarding pass, you've got to get to at least the gold level with the boarding pass. And then in their champagne brunch, I think the most expensive one in the system there would be $14.99 at Palace Station plus tax, and that's pretty good for champagne brunch. It's cheap champagne, of course, but hey, who cares? You can just get loaded up on it. They don't care. They'll just keep serving it to you. Okay, but other than that, most of the buffets here they're not the way they used to be. They're really expensive. Like I said before, the Orleans used to be cheap, and now it's not. It's like over $20 for a buffet. I mean, this is the land of buffets. Buffets, as a matter of fact, were invented in Las Vegas. Well, a buffet actually doesn't describe the food. It describes the equipment, the utensils, the setup, the way it's presented. But an original European buffet was actually just one way through. You can choose whatever you want one time. The all-you-can-eat aspect was invented here in Las Vegas. Again, you can look that up in Wikipedia. It was invented by someone in 1946. It was basically something to keep gamblers gambling late into the night. So buffets started to keep people gambling after midnight. And it's funny, the irony of it is there's only one midnight buffet here in Vegas, in all of Las Vegas, a traditional midnight buffet, which would be the one at Palace Station. And I don't think the other station casinos have it. I haven't even really bothered to check. I don't think they have it. They don't. And the midnight buffet, I believe, is not advertised. You have to be at the station, at Palace Station, to see it. But that's what it is. Let's see here. And so, yeah, so they don't advertise it. What else here? They don't advertise it. Who else here? Oh, there's Kirin Buffet. Kirin. And that's a Chinese buffet near Spencer and Flamingo or Tropicana. Just look that one up. That's easy. And they run it all day. And they start from 11 up until 9 at night. And the catch there is that you can't have tea. You can't have a soft drink. That's not included in the meal. The meal itself is like $7.80 plus tax. So it'd be under $9 or around $9 total. But they charge you separately for the drink. So you can't even get hot tea for free. No, that's not included. Let's see, who else here? There's China Star. China Star actually is across the way. China Star Buffet, for instance. China Star, that chain is $8.99 on the weekends plus tax. So it's like $6.99 outside of that plus tax. So it'd be like $8 and change, and then under $11 for the weekend buffet. That includes hot tea, but you have to pay separately for a soft drink. So that's no big deal. So basically, that would be those three: CC's Pizza, Kirin. I think Kirin is one of a kind. Only has one location. Then China Star has a better selection than Kirin. But that's pretty much it. It's your standard Chinese buffet. It's got hot sour soup, egg flour, egg drop, and then it's got all kinds of things that you expect at a Chinese restaurant. Let's see, in the Mexican buffets, they have them. Like Ricardo's is okay, but they charge too much. They charge like $12 or $14 for the buffet when you can get that at any of the station casinos for less. Of course, it includes a Mexican station. The Filipino buffets are nice. They're really nice. That you still can't get at the casinos, so you'll have to go to Gloria's or any of the other Filipino buffets. And what's good about a Filipino buffet is they do have some Spaniard dishes like paella sometimes, caldereta, all those different things. So it's good for that. It's good for protein, and they do have vegetables for that. They run about $12 or $13. But you see the pattern here. These buffets outside of the casinos run about $11 or $12 or $13. But lo and behold, here it is, $5.99. The Indian buffets, same thing. There's Mount Everest Kitchen off Sahara or on Sahara. That's pretty good. But I just wanted to point this out to you folks. It's $5.99 for this buffet. And the Thai buffets, yeah, well, like I said before, there is no such thing as real Thai food in this country. It's all the restaurants are all controlled by ethnic Chinese. They've got the money. Thai buffets are pretty much non-existent here. I mean, yeah, I don't really bother. I could probably make the food better than they can. I mean, they don't make it as spicy as it should be. They don't know how. They're ethnic Chinese. I mean, it's like the last thing that you give up, the last thing that you surrender when you're in a new environment, when you're an immigrant, would be your culinary preferences. I met a guy in Seattle. His name is Brian, and he's originally from Houston. He was actually Italian on his mother's side and German on his father's side. And I noticed something quite interesting. His story is that he made it into MIT, but his parents wouldn't pay the bill for it, so he got really depressed because they didn't want to send him to MIT. They didn't want to pay for the cost. This is before MIT and the rest just gave you an aid package if you made below a certain amount. But now it's easy. Now if you just make below 150,000, fine. But back then, he's about 6 years younger than I am. But back then they didn't do that. They didn't quite do that. Not at that point. But his deal is that I met him, and his deal is that I noticed one day he was using olive oil. You know how Italians and other groups in Southern Europe use olive oil and oil together, and then use that to dip your bread in. He was using butter mixed in with olive oil. It was olive oil and butter together. I said, oh, that's interesting. It's like a cross of two cultures. But anyway, my point is that for some reason, that's the last thing you give away. And so Chinese cuisine has certain ingredients and certain techniques. You can tell lots of ginger, not as much pepper and other spices as you would, say, Indian or Indonesian cuisine, because they're further down the spice trade trough, not too far down like Europe or West Africa, but further down enough to where they can't just use it like it's going out of style. So the Chinese, ethnic Chinese, unless it's Szechuan cuisine, but that's totally different, they don't know how to, shall we say, spice up Thai cuisine the way that a native Thai person would. And when I say native Thai person, I'm talking short, dark, with round eyes, not fair complected, with high cheekbones and slanty eyes. That person comes basically from Siberia, and the Siberians that crossed over the bridge turned out to be American Indians. People that went south ended up being Korean, Japanese, Chinese, so on and so forth. But that's the thing. People don't realize that with Thai cuisine, with authentic Thai cuisine, and you can find it in Thailand, you have to go to the street stalls, because those are run by ethnic Thais for the most part. Street stalls are the most basic business type in Thailand. So the Chinese tend not to. It's too low ball for them. I mean, you'll find Chinese there, but like authentic Thai cuisine tends to be less colorful, because Chinese tend to use 2, 3, 4, 5 different vegetables. It's less colorful, but much hotter, much spicier. So I don't even bother. I mean, it's good. It's okay. Thai cuisine is okay the way that it's interpreted by ethnic Chinese, but come on, I mean, like, there's one tip that you can tell it's ethnic Chinese. When you walk in, you see the decor. The decor is red. Red in Chinese culture is good luck. And also you see chopsticks. No. Thais either eat with utensils. They use a fork and spoon a certain way. Those are the middle-class Thais, which would be really rare, because most of the brown Thais tend to be lower class. Sad but true. Anyway, they either eat with utensils, with a fork and a spoon a certain way. I'd have to show you, I guess, in a separate video someday. Or they eat with their hands. They don't eat with chopsticks. It's kind of like these red envelopes. For those of you that don't know, in Chinese culture, you give money as gifts. I mean, you can, and it's acceptable. Okay, inside the little red envelope is currency. Now, here's the scary part. The closer that someone is to you, the more money they get. In other words, if you've got 3 close friends and friend A gets $1, friend B gets $5, friend C gets $10, guess who the closest friend is to you? You know, under your perception, it would be friend C. Now, you could have a situation where everyone gets the same amount, but no, I don't think so. Why would they have to put it in an envelope, a red envelope, if everyone got the same amount? Because I understand in Western culture, it's rude to give money. It's very crass, especially if you're under English influence. It's very crass. It's very lower class to give money as a gift, unless of course it's a grant. Right? Ironic, right? You can't just hand someone money. You can give them a gift card, or you can give them a voucher that's like money, but nobody just hands money to anybody in Western culture straight up. No. In Chinese culture, yes, of course. Well, they're the ones that invented paper money, you know, banknotes. They're the ones. So they've been dealing with that forever. And in the long term, and that's all they care about is the long term. In the long term, it works out better than just giving a person just a gift, a trinket, because after all, you're giving them something extremely valuable and you're allowing them to pick whatever they want. Because, you know, there's a typical Seattle thing. You give someone something from Nordstrom's and they end up turning it in any way and refunding it or taking it back to the store. Yes. So whenever you see these ethnic groups that's why I said in a previous video, why even call these places the International District? Why not just call them Chinatown? After all, it's just all Chinese from different countries. If you ever see red envelopes from so-called Thais, so-called Vietnamese, or just anyone in Southeast Asia that are not from Taiwan or China, if you see red envelopes, that is from a particular culture, and you can look it up. I think in my father's Chinese dialect, they're from Fujian province. They about 100 years ago they left for the Philippines, but I think they call them Li Shi, Li, and then SHIH, Li Shi, but it's called something quite different in Cantonese. But it's these little red envelopes, usually with a gold embossed Chinese character on it. Probably means prosperity or luck. But yes, that's what they are. That's what they are. They basically, on my father's side of the family, I am ethnic Chinese on that side of the family. But according to a DNA test, they're not even 90% Chinese. They're more like 80% Chinese with Siberian and other stuff mixed in, Taiwanese, Southeast Asian. And on my mother's side, that's where I get my diversity. And on my mother's side, because of my mother's side, I'm over 50 different nationalities, about 60 different overall when you take both sides. But on that side, I've got Armenian, I've got Indian from India, I've got West African, I've got Spaniard, Portuguese. I've got about 7 to 8% European ancestry, about 50 some odd percent Southeast Asian, which is like Southeast Asia itself. See, Asia goes from east of Turkey all the way to Japan, that area. I've got, with both sides of the family, I probably got about 19% Siberian. So I'm everything on the planet except, even Jewish, I've got that too, trace amounts of that. I'm everything on the planet except, for some reason, Scandinavian. I'm part Russian, Volga River Russian, and I'm part Siberian, of course. I'm everything except American Indian, though I do register American Indian on the test, because, after all, my ancestors never crossed the land bridge. They stayed in Siberia and headed south. And I'm not Scandinavian. I'm trace amounts of different European groups. I'm even part Armenian, part French, part Italian, part Mongolian, all that other jazz. And as more people take the test, it'll become more clear. Because after all, I'd love to track down all my Indian relatives. I still haven't, because after all, a $99 test is like 2 days' wages or 3 days' wages in India. So I'll sign off here. I just wanted to highlight this buffet. Thank you again, folks, for watching. Tell all your friends about these videos. That way it helps them out. Forget about subscribing. I don't give a damn if you press the subscribe button or not. But these are helpful, up-to-date videos. That way, if you ever give Vegas a shake of the dice, a roll of the dice, a flip of the card, hey, why not? You may find yourself needing these places here. The $5.99 buffet, the $3.99 prime rib dinner, a low minimum table, like a, you know, like 10-cent roulette at the Orleans. Better hurry now before they take the machines away or modify them. There are only 2 machines like that in all of Orleans. I haven't found them in any other casino. $1 blackjack, $1 craps, and I'll be at the casinos later on in the future in those places. But I'll sign off for now. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time. Ciao. Bye for now.